Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Before we get formally gavel into order, we're just going to go and run through our um, notes that everyone needs to hear, like we're going to do every single time before we go, just for our protocols. But please remember, if you are here online, please rename yourself accordingly. So if you're senator, please add senator, guests, add guests, and so forth. And also, senators who are online, we will be taking your attendance via who was on the call when Secretary Myers is letting you in from the waiting room. Um, roll call will be used for everyone here in person, as you all know. To have yourself recognized in person, please stand up and hold up your name placard, and I will call on you. To be recognized online, please use the hand raise function, and all motions must be typed. We have people up here ready and reviewing them to help me to make sure that we see you and call on you. Then also please remember, we have the enter doors over here on my right, your left. We have the exit doors over here, my left, your right. If you come in, if you exit and then come back, please be sure to use a hand sanitizer prior to re-entering into the room. Another note, no congregating afterwards. Please see yourself out in an orderly fashion. This is just to ensure that we adhere to all guidelines, UJ guidelines, and adhere to our Senate COVID-19 protocols. Be attentive as usual for people online and for people here. If we're attentive and efficient, we will get through this meeting, we'll get everything we need done, and we will be able to go about our business. And finally, just because this is election season, I want it to be known and very clear, all the parameters about that. There's no campaigning allowed in updates, in the good of the order, or on the floor. And only those that signed up for like open forum beforehand are allowed to even speak about elections or campaigns. And we have executive tickets that have filled that out, and they were extended to invitations to all three to be fair and equitable. So with that, that's all we have. That's all of our protocols. We're gonna go ahead and get started and call in the formal business. Oh, and then also, I have more details about how the open forum is going to work when we get there, so just hang tight for campaigners. I will now call to order this Senate session of the 33rd Senate. Secretary Myers, can you please call the roll?
Alejandro Collins, Andrew Cox, Andrew Stevens, Bradley Howard.
Here.
Bridget Helms. Here. Bryson Henriot.
Here.
Chance Lacey.
Here.
Chris Harmon.
Here.
Christopher Jew.
Here.
Sierra Thomas. Here. Dallas Hunt.
Here.
Dylan Fauntleroy. Ella Baxter. Here. Gabriella Gagliano. Graham Hall.
Here.
Adam Powell.
Here.
Hank Manning.
Here.
Isabel Flanagan. Here. Jack Madod. Julia Eden. Here. Kate Forrell. Kyle Becker.
You should be online.
Libby Poland. Here. Marilyn Dyer. Here. Morgan Lilly.
Here.
Rebecca Brotons. Sam Bryant.
Here.
Samuel Cook.
Here.
Hayden Schwartz. William
You
Kervin.
should be here.
William Harris.
Here.
Gabby Lewis. Here. Samuel Marks.
Here.
Kushi Mehta. Here. Lauren Sanders. Here. Lucas Nadog.
Here.
Secretary Myers, do we have a quorum?
Quorum has been met.
Seeing as a quorum has been met, we'll move on to the next order of business, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Seeing as we have a quorum, we're now in line for the approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting. The agenda was sent out this last Friday. Secretary Myers will display it on the screen now as well. Are there any additions or corrections that need to be made to the agenda at this time? The chair recognizes Senator Thomas.
Motion to strike the confirmation of all.
There's been a motion to strike the confirmation of the all campus allocations committee members as that has been requested to be moved. Do I hear a second? Okay, there's been a motion to strike the confirmation of the all campus allocations committee member. All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed? You good? Okay, it is hereby struck and removed from the agenda. Okay, thank you, Senator Thomas. Are there any other additions or corrections that need to be made to the agenda at this time? Seeing none, the agenda is approved. We are now in line for the approval of the minutes from our last meeting of the 33rd Senate. For the next minute, please read over the minutes shared on the screen now. Are there any additions or corrections that need to be made at this time? Seeing no objections, the minutes are approved. We will now move to hear from students who have come to speak during open forum. Some ground rules first, because we have 3 executive campaign tickets that are here with us tonight. For information for you all, as the chair, I am setting 2 minutes, that you only have 2 minutes to speak before the body. And then also only 1 representative from the campaign will be allowed to speak, so not multiple. This is all for efficiency's sake, because we have stuff we have to get through and to be fair and equitable to all those speaking. So with that, I will open up open forum, and anyone wishing to speak, please raise your hand and I will notify you. The chair recognizes Carter Marks.
Thank you, Senator Bryant, and thank you all for allowing this space for us to chat with you for just a little bit of time. So my name is Carter Marks. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a 3rd-year business management economics major from St. Simons Island, Georgia, and I'm the presidential candidate for Belong UGA. The first thing I want to say is that we've taken the time to listen. We have this massive document of like 70 pages of over 250 meetings that we've had in the last 5 months. And we as Jasmine Gresham and Shelley Chumar and I to truly understand the student body, student voice, and understand where we wanted to go with our administration. And since we don't have a lot of time, I want to give you just a brief overview of what we've been thinking. About 2 months ago, when Jasmine, Shelley, and I said, we're going to do this, we sat down and said, what are we going to fight for? What are we going to work for? And the answer was our values. And so my number 1 value is inclusivity, Jasmine's is intentionality, and Shelley's is growth. And everything that we've done has been revolving around those 3 values and our understanding that one of the most pressing issues on this campus is student sense of belonging. Of course, because of the COVID-19 pandemic and being in orientation this last summer, like I got to see the problems facing first-year students. And so everything that we've done in all of our platform that you'll see on our website is done for those students and done for students that I know are hurting because of this pandemic. And so with that being said, we came down to 3 words: collaborate, advocate, and amplify. Collaborate, meaning working with organizations to use SGA's platform to support them. Advocate is working for, thank you, Matthew, working for marginalized communities and making sure that all students feel welcomed. And then Amplify is working to make sure students know of resources that already exist. I know I'm in a room of people that I know I'm preaching to the choir in by knowing that a lot of students just don't know that there are resources available. And we're here to fight to work with the Senate to make sure that students know that they exist. And so one initiative that I'd love to share with you all is a sophomore series, one that's specifically designed for current first year students. And we've had the opportunity to work, or speak with the Office of Engagement, Leadership, and Service, Student Transitions Office, Welcome UGA, the Office of the President, to make sure that we can do this. And really what it is, in short, is a series of events for rising second years to get that freshman experience they deserve, and most notably, a Super G. And we really do believe that we can have that if we get elected. So thank you so much for allowing me the space to chat with you all today, and have a great night, y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Marks. The chair recognizes Ms. Casey Smith.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name's Casey. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm serving as the presidential candidate on the Voice ticket. I really have to give a big shout out to my boy, Will Harris, who I know is in person tonight. He is also on the ticket with me. And we really just want to speak with y'all tonight about our Senate experience and what we hope to bring to cabinet. So first off, the platform baseline of our ticket is just to recognize, amplify, uplift, and engage student voices on campus. And we always recognize that we've been offered seats at the table, sitting in cabinet, and as y'all are sitting in Senate right now. But we also recognize that our voices haven't always been heard in these positions. So just to run down a little bit of our platform super quickly, as the only female presidential candidate to be running in this election, I really want to bring the conversation of women's safety back to SGA. So to recognize the work of Senator Matthew McDaniel working on lighting on campus, we'd like to extend that work to off campus as well, especially on millage, extending women's safety initiatives to millage, but also increasing the sexual assault response team education. And then beyond that, we'd also like to amplify the work that students have been doing within SGA towards student fee transparency, knowing where your money's going, but also advocating that the university use our money better, allocating more towards mental wellness resources, allocating more towards Grady students. I know we have a Grady senator here tonight, working on getting those Adobe packages back. But I think at the end of the day, to tailor this more towards senators, as you all are, I think something that our administration would seek to do is really understand that not every initiative has to come through cabinet. Sometimes Senate is the best avenue, as y'all have a direct line of communication with your colleges. So something that we would like to do is really make sure that the partnership is strong, so that we would be able to pass bills and get things done with Senate and cabinet working together. But yeah, voting closes tomorrow at noon, but I think you all know that. So definitely be sure to check out more of our platform and vote Voice. And thank you so much. I know Will is in person, so hopefully he is waving and smiling.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. The chair now recognizes Mr. Jeremiah DeSisto.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Senate President Bryant, Senate Pro Temp Sierra Thomas, Matthew, the rest of Senate leadership for allowing me to speak tonight. I recognize a lot of faces. Hey, Ella, if you're watching. My name is Jeremiah DeSisto. I use he, him pronouns. I'm proud to be the presidential candidate on the Bridge ticket. We're looking to bridge the gaps on campus that seek to divide us. Our platform was made up of focus groups of about 50 people, looking to see what changes on campus we need to make. And to echo what Casey said, not a lot of this change has to happen through cabinet. It takes a coerce group of leaders within SGA to ensure that we are making and sparking change for the benefit of our student body. And that's what we want to do at Bridge UGA, to ensure that students are having an equitable and fair time here at the University of Georgia. As much as I want students to love this university as much as I do, our goal is to make sure that students feel loved and feel heard by this university. And some of our initiatives include making sure that students have fair and equitable parking resources, making sure that out-of-state students, international students have a way to get back to Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, ensuring listening nights to come back. And as we've done the due diligence. We've talked to Mayor Kelly Girtz. I know a lot of the due diligence and the process that all of you senators have to go through in making sure that pieces of legislation are passed, and we went through the same process. But I'll assure you this, as an administration, we'll work closely to make sure that the credit is given where credit is due. And I know you guys just started the Senate Sunday series, we want to ensure that every piece of legislation that's passed is given credit on our SGA website, that it's not just the executive branch there, but every single person that is helping to make UGA a home for our students. And it's not going to take just 3 of us. It's going to take every single person, whether that be FYP or anywhere else. So I appreciate you for giving me time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. DeSesto. Is there anyone else wishing to speak in open forum during this time? All right, thank you. With that, we will end open forum and we'll reclaim that time. We're now in line for officer reports. To ensure an efficient meeting, especially here now hybrid system we have going on in Zoom and in person, I will be limiting all executive and legislative officer updates to 3 minutes, with all updates from committees, FYS, and staff being 45 seconds or less. So first up, the chair would like to recognize President Asim Ahmed.
What's going on, y'all? Hope everyone is doing well. So some stuff are in the works with exec. Everything is kind of up in the air right now because we have a lot of pending meetings and those are happening next week. But as far as what I can tell y'all so far, we are planning a meeting with Marcoms and Student Affairs about establishing a push notification system through our UGA app, which could be really cool to streamline the communication from UGA to students in emergency situations. So I know y'all all got the email, for example, last week of canceling the first 2 classes on some Tuesday. So like that's the type of notification that would be sent to all students through a notification system, which would be cool. We are also working still on DACA students. That bill is in the Higher Education Committee, and Representative Wilkerson has emailed me and told me that it hasn't been brought to the floor yet. And then as far as wellness reps, that is still in the works. We have seen the University of Georgia, our student care and outreach has applied for $25,000 and $10,000 respectively to increase our currently existing infrastructure for mental health. $10,000 of that is going towards increasing our on-call centers, and $25,000 is for mental health and suicide prevention programming. Those are the major updates that I have. Again, most of those meetings are happening next week. And we're also, one last thing, what we're trying to do is that COVID vaccine video reached a lot of people and a lot of people appreciated it. So what we're trying to do is try to do 1-minute videos of UGA departments doing similar things. So for example, it could be UGA Office of Sustainability or UGA Dining, a representative from their department pretty much talking for 1 minute about what their department does and relevant things for students. So that could be really cool. And that's something we are looking to do. Our directors of accountability are working on that. So that's all I have. I will pass it on to Cheryl. Thanks, y'all.
Hey,
Thank you, President Ahmed. The chair recognizes Vice President Quapong.
Hey everybody, hope everyone's doing well. Mine is super short, not much has changed from last week to this week because we're still working on trying to get together curriculum as far as a DEI module goes for all in-house SGA members. So that's going good and we're working on that. If anybody else is interested on that, we have like a very small team working on that right now. So if anybody else is interested in working on that legislation, because you know y'all are senators and stuff and that's your jurisdiction, so like I could always use the extra help. And we're still continuing to work with neighborhood leaders to see the different ways that we can work in the community to give them what it is that they need so that we can best be successful. And that's really all I have. So on to Carson.
Hey y'all.
The chair would like to recognize Treasurer Cook.
Hey y'all. Can y'all hear me? Okay, so we had small clubs today. I can't say exactly what their amount was until VP Wilson approves it, but we had listened from 3 organizations. Went very well. We are working right now on the Greek Unity Breakfast that's happening next Friday. And we worked a lot of hours today at the book closet to get it all organized and looking pretty. So definitely tell your friends about that. And then we have all campus coming up at the end of March. And that is all my updates.
Thank you, Treasurer Cook. We're now in line for legislative officer updates. So hello, everyone. Welcome. Good to see everyone back in another Senate. Just remember to put it on your radar. So we have 2 Senate sessions like here in the chamber and the Zoom chamber back to back. So just please be mentally aware of that. So next week will not be committee week. We will be doing another Senate session like so, meaning we will have no committees. The only committee that will review legislation, if there's any submitted, will be Rules Committee, and Rules Committee will just place it into the proper committees on Sunday. So please just be aware of that. And then remember, please just continue to be updated and know about our Senate COVID-19 preparedness plan. That is what we're following. That's what we will always follow over here. And safety is our top priority, and I take it very seriously. And then Senate's been working, as you know, on different initiatives. You've all seen the weekly, I hope. Just remember, we can see who's read it. Just plug that. But just be aware of that. But Senate one-pagers were posted to social media. Those are out. Those are being sent to students, and they're utilizing these tools that Senate has created. And so that's something that has been helping students to get the information that they need. And that's one of our pillars, is trying to educate students on what resources are available to them. Another thing, and Senator Kervin will touch on this about the campus safety walk, but it got moved. He can explain more. And then also just remember, we're doing a service event planned by the pages and by staff. So please put that on your radar. That'll be super interesting. That'll be super cool. It's super fun. And that's something that we can do with boots on the ground to actually like serve our university and serve students and serve the greater Athens Clarke County community. And then also just be aware of a socially distanced social that'll eventually be happening, planned by our staff and pages. And then there's legislation on the blood drive that's currently being planned this evening. So please be ready for that legislation this evening. If you have anything to say about it, please use the time that is allotted to do so as we review it and make sure that we leave everything here and we cover all our bases. And then also we are going to be publicizing it to all the social media, and we'll be getting the links all to you very soon after this meeting. But we have applications currently open for appointed Senate seats. We will get the list of what those seats are to you all, and Legislative Cabinet is currently going through the process, reviewing those people. We have an interview tomorrow, and we're going to be rolling applications. So when someone comes in and it's a good, decent app, they will move forward with interviews and just do them all instead of scheduling them all in one big block. So we'll get all that information. Do you have anyone that'd be possibly interested? I know it's only a little bit left of the term, but we'd be happy to have them, happy to interview and see how it goes. But that's all I have. So please put all those things on your radar. With that, I'll turn it over to Senator Thomas.
I just have a couple of quick updates. As Sam touched on before, please keep in mind that we do have a Senate meeting next week. So when I said that we have 3 meetings left for the term, one of them is next Tuesday. All of our meetings will be done by the end of March, which gives you all about 4 weeks to finish up whatever initiatives you started on through by the end of your term. Also, as I touched on earlier, we're sharing appointed Senate seat interviews this week. We have a couple of open seats, and so please share those with your friends. We're ideally looking to fill those seats by the end of the term. I am still working on the housing proposal that I started when I met with Alan last week about safe words in the residence halls, and we're going to try to create more thorough and detailed plan on that. And then I am also attending the EAC meeting on Thursday. I'm meeting with VP Shrestha to talk about plans for the summer and fall semesters, and so I have a couple ideas of things to bring forward, but if anybody has anything specific they would like me to bring up at that meeting, please feel free to reach out. I'm also working with Georgia Tech and KSU Senates to work on passing similar legislation to Resolution 3004, which we passed a couple of weeks ago regarding the official adoption of the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism. If anybody has questions, please feel free to let me know.
Thank you, Senator Thomas. With that, we're to move into our committee updates. Just remember, try to be efficient with our time. But first off, the chair would like to recognize the chairwoman for the Committee on Campus Services, Senator Abdel Wahab.
We're all doing well. A few quick updates from the committee. Senator Aaliyah Elmore and Senator Kendall Henry are currently working on putting together a survey regarding the naming of buildings across campus. So hopefully that survey will be out within the next couple of weeks. And so I just want to encourage everyone to be on the lookout for that survey and make sure that you complete it once it is out. Oh, okay. Okay, can you guys still hear me? Sorry, Matthew said I should speak up. And then the other really quick thing, okay, perfect. And then Senator Isaacs is continuing to work with the Office of OEP, which is the Office of Emergency Preparedness, and they really want a greater connection with Senate, and so we're gonna work to establish that. And finally, I know that Senator Zayn Malice has been working and will be putting together a one-pager about what a student should do when they receive a concussion and kind of how to go about communicating with their professors. So those are some things coming along in the Campus Services Committee. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Senator Abdulwahab. Next up, we have the Committee on Budget and Oversight, Senator Connor Green.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll keep this short. Senator Allison Fine on the Committee of Budget and Oversight has recently proposed to explore the process of building a support system for club going through the small clubs allocation process. So we are going to begin soliciting feedback and information on this process as we go forward. The Committee on Budget and Oversight is also exploring ways in which to refine the wording on publicly available documents consisting of the guidelines for small clubs allocation. So be on the lookout for changes like that coming down the pipeline in the next 7 days or so. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Green. Next up, we have the Committee on Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, Senator Will Harris.
Good evening, y'all. Got a lot of updates, so I'll try to keep them brief because they do legislate. So Senators Lou Cohen and Isabel Flanagan are working on getting a blood plasma money donation drive and are working with partnering with Panhellenic and are awaiting a response. Last time we checked in with that, it still looked like some of the Senate SGA drives about blood plasma and like COVID antibodies and things like that. And they're working on the potential proclamation on that. Other senators are still working on legislation that's already in works. Senator Kyle Baker met with the student about a potential initiative on raising awareness about CAPS, which is Counseling and Psychiatric Services here at UVA. There are double CAPS. It's kind of hard to get an appointment, and CAPS is kind of a logistical nightmare considering the help that the students need from there. So we're going to try to make that process a lot more efficient. Senator Amy Schultz is working with Senator Abdulwahab on meeting with Dean Davis from the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication on the Grady Resource Fund initiative. I'm not sure if they've had that meeting yet. I need to follow up. And Senator Lindsey Smith is looking at a survey made for her religious holidays initiatives. The questions have been submitted, and she's awaiting the creation of the survey. So be on the lookout for that to fill it out and disseminate that survey to the channels that need. And that is all that I have for today. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator Harris.
Thank you, Senator Harris.
Next up, we have the Committee on Campus Safety, Senator Will Kervin.
All right, hey everyone. So like Sam mentioned earlier, due to inclement weather, the campus safety walk was moved back to next Monday. So with that, I'd love if y'all would keep pushing the campus safety survey that's been sent in the Senate weekly emails. Beyond that though, my committee is going on our own campus safety walk tomorrow afternoon. Additionally, we're still planning ways to try to promote the upcoming blood drive that Christopher will be talking about later tonight. We're also, well, I personally have been working on surveying the psychology department and seeing if we can find ways to renovate and improve the lounge and study spaces that are available in the psych building. We're also working on, as a committee, on creating a town hall series with UGA PD. And finally, we're still working and meeting this week to finish up our sexual self-prevention resources. We're hoping to publish some one-sheet documents and hopefully have those disseminated at the orientation or something. So that's it from us. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Kervin. Next up, we have the Committee on Educational Affairs, Senator Bradley Howard.
I have a couple of quick updates for y'all today. The committee is continuing to explore avenues on greater grievance policy. After conversations with the Dean of the School of Social Work, Senator Chu is expanding her efforts on raising awareness for the School of Social Work Social Justice magazine to include other organizations on campus. She has meetings in place with executives from the Black Student Union and the Indian Cultural Exchange. If you know any other orgs that write and discuss anything about social justice, opinion pieces, stuff on policy and that, please reach out to either Senator Chu or myself. And then one last thing, Senator Chu or Senator So is looking into ways to keep the UGA Bulletin page updated. If any of y'all have used UGA Bulletin, there are some syllabi that are, might be from the semester like spring 2011. So she is looking at ways to improve legislation that passed a few years ago to keep that updated. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Howard. Last but not least, excuse me, the chair would like to recognize the Committee on Student Experience Chairwoman, Senator Ella Baxter.
Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. So two quick things. Senator Mary Lynn Dyer, Queen, is working on expanding SGA to make it more accessible and so that more students know about it. And then she's also looking into 1-hour parking spots at Ramsey and the Health Center. Some of our peer institutions do that already, so we're looking into doing it as well. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Senator Baxter. Next up, sorry guys, lots of updates. In a way that's also good. But with that, we have updates from the first-year senators. We'll have our co-chair, Ms. Hannah Payne, doing it this evening. Yes, if you don't like, so then people online can hear.
Sorry, y'all, it's a long walk from up there. Okay, so some updates. We are working on a lot of cool stuff in first year center. I should say we, they, shout out to them. So a couple of things, if you guys could fill out the surveys and send it weekly, I know this is hard on, but it's super helpful, or if you could send it out. There's one for a high-rise bus stop. Other to make it a little bit more accessible for freshmen. So if you're living indoors or you know someone who is, have them fill it out. There's one for extending study hours in the MLC. One of our senators is actually already in the process of scheduling a meeting with those who run MLC, so that's in the works. And then also, I'm really biased and excited about this one, to get Keurigs installed by the microwaves in here and in Tate, so that students don't have to pay $6 for coffee every time they're studying. So feel free to fill those out, and if you're interested in helping, I'm sure they would appreciate a sponsor. So thank you guys.
Okay. Thank you, Hannah. Next up, we have staff updates from Senate Chief of Staff, Matthew McDaniel.
Just to harp on the surveys, it is absolutely huge that y'all are filling out these surveys, because with y'all combined, with everyone that's here, that's about 70 surveys with results. And so please make sure that you're doing that. First year senators are able to push those out and get 650, so we should be able to get that relatively easily if y'all are sharing them as well. In addition, with respect to surveys, Friday is really going to be almost the last day that we'll accept a survey to be able to start putting into the system and get it out for this term. Only because it takes us a little bit of time to review your surveys, get them in the system, and then start pushing them. And so we already have about 8 in the queue. So please make sure that if you have one, that you send it to me by Friday, or at least let me know that you have one coming down the pipeline early next week by this Friday. My email is also weekly, so if you need that, please reach out. In addition, our amazing staff are planning 2 great things alongside our pages, which will be a Senate social. We're looking at doing something outdoors. The weather will hold out to be as beautiful as it is today. Looking at Birdie Field, we'll do prepackaged snacks and games, some activities like that. You all are welcome to join, all the first year senators as well. And those will be coming down the pipeline, so pay attention to the Slack as well as the weekly. In addition to doing a service project, one thing that Sam and Sierra spoke about when they came into their term was prioritizing service for the organization. So we're going to try to do a service project, whether that be with Campus Kitchen or alternative organization here on campus. So please pay attention to that as we'll be providing dates for that. Campus Kitchen will do back-to-back times. It'll be socially distant at their kitchen for food. So please pay attention to that. In addition, Earth Week, we have some great things coming together alongside the university, in addition to the Office of Sustainability to put on the Earth Day events and Earth Week events. And so please pay attention. We have some really incredible things in the work that will be in late April. In addition to the Students Farmers Market starting the first week of March. On Wednesday, so pay attention to that. That'll be outside of Tate, so we'll be assisting with that to bring partners to those, and so that's something that Kelly is working diligently on to ensure that we bring partners in there to highlight areas in which students who face food insecurity or things like that, or we need resources, we'll be able to access those directly outside the team. So if you need anything, please reach out to them.
Thank you, Matthew. Okay, with all of that, we are finally done with our updates. So we're going to be moving into our new business. So first up on the docket of our new business is Resolution 33-07. At this time, the chair would like to recognize the author, Senator Chris Jew.
Hey, so I just wanted to take a little bit of time to introduce the bill. So essentially, for any of you who have not heard, SG has been working to plan a blood drive sponsored by the American Red Cross on March 16th at Memorial Hall. And, we're really excited about this. This is my first piece of legislation. I'm super excited about that. But, I just wanted to point out that one really interesting thing that's happening during the COVID-19 pandemic is that most of these organizations that, like the American Red Cross, can't have their typical blood drives at high school or middle school like you would normally with a lot of the adults coming in. So we as students are really a great body to be able to give during this time when there is such a lack of blood. And then another thing I'd like to point out is they're also giving everyone who does give blood an antibodies test. And if you test positive for the antibodies, it can really help because they can use the convalescent plasma to further the research. So for instance, that's how Moderna, Pfizer, and now Johnson & Johnson with their single dose vaccination were able to do what they could. And now they've got 95% effectivity, and we could get that even up closer to 100%, with the extra research. And as y'all know, several students, just over 5,000 students have tested positive for coronavirus since school started last fall. So that's a huge number that could be helping out even more. I'm really excited about that as well. I'd also like to add, I have an author amendment. I wanted to make sure to acknowledge those individuals who could not physically donate blood. I wanted to also express and say that you are able to help out in other ways rather than just physically donating blood. And everybody's support is going to be very integral to helping stop the global pandemic. Those ways could be through social media or through volunteering. There's going to be several volunteers needed on the physical day on March 16th from 11 to 5 o'clock, which I'll be at the whole time. But I'm very excited to get this running, and I look forward to it.
Thanks, Senator Jew. Do you stand for questions?
Yeah. Yes, I stand for questions.
Are there any questions at this time from the body here? If you have a question, just raise your placard and stand, or any questions online. Please raise your hand and we'll call on you. With no questions, thank you, Senator Jew. Okay. I will now take back that time. With that, we move into debate. I just want to preface and make everyone aware of what Senator Jew was discussing. He had an author amendment. As the author, he put one on. It's highlighted here. So please make sure you review that. He discussed it briefly during his opening statements when he presented the bill. This is it here. Feel free to read it. This will have to be voted on before we can actually vote on the entirety of the bill, unless there's a motion to vote by slate, just to put that out there and so everyone knows before we move into debate, which is where more amendments or pros and cons can be spoken about on this piece of legislation, okay? So with that, I'm gonna open up the floor to debate. Is there anybody online or here in the chamber wishing to speak in favor or against this piece of legislation? The chair recognizes Senator Thomas. So a motion to vote by, and so bypass debate? Okay, there's been a motion to vote by slate, but we have to end debate first. So is there anyone wishing to, is there a second? Second. Okay. Yeah, so the thing here is that we have to end debate before we can end the actual, like move into the voting part. So we have to vote on this because there was a second, but I would, because just due process, I'd highly encourage everyone to vote nay. So there's been a motion, a second to vote by slate. All those in favor, please say aye. All opposed? Okay, cool, thank you. Sorry, Senator Thomas. Don't worry, Robert's rules is not fun sometimes. So before we can do that, we just have to, debate has to be formally ended. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor or against this piece of legislation? The chair recognizes Senator Dyer.
I just want to speak in favor of this. I'm really excited about my new
Oh, do you mind coming up to the podium just so people can hear you? Sorry.
This is nothing too serious, but I'm really excited about this. I'm really proud of Chris and really proud of my name on this. And yeah, I just think this is really cool, kind of bringing everybody together and like working for a good cause. And I especially like the little piece that you just added about including everybody, even if you can't give blood, like totally come and work and volunteer. So yeah, that's it. Just speaking in favor, big fan.
Thank you, Senator Dyer. Is there anyone else, is there someone wishing to speak against the resolution? Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Okay. Seeing no debate, I will end that and reclaim the time. Do I hear any motions?
Motion to vote by slate in addition to the amendment presented.
Okay. There's been a motion to vote by slate with the including of the passage of the bill with the amendments being grouped into one vote. Do I hear a second? Okay, there's been a motion and a second to vote by slate with the amendment and the entirety of the bill being grouped into one vote. All those in favor of voting by slate, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, we're doing it. Okay. The matter before us now is the passage of this resolution, resolution 33-07, with the amendment added. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Resolution 33-07 officially passes. Congratulations, Senator Jew. With that, we come to the end of our new business, and we have come to the good of the order. This is the time to where senators can speak to the body about anything going on, about Senate, about SGA, about UGA, about live stuff they're involved in. Now is that time. I'll just go first real quickly and just remind everyone, get out there and vote. Make sure you do that. Go on the campus involvement network, log on and go vote. We're all here, members of the government. We should be making sure our voting record is 100%. So just go out and vote and just make sure that all voices are heard. Is there anyone else wishing to speak for good of the order? The chair recognizes Senator Dyer. You can come back up to the podium. Thank you.
Sorry, y'all, I'm long tonight, but so I'm also a student ambassador for the College of Education, and I'm on a committee for allied health professions. And our committee, I'm pulling it up on me so I don't mess up. Our committee is putting on a forum tomorrow night, a little panel. So it's going to be really cool. We're going to have a couple like professors from the College of Education, stuff like that, who are like exercise sports science, sports management, anything like that, allied health. That's like that's College of Education, but like not teacher oriented. We're gonna have them in a panel. So if you're interested at all, like if you're in any way, like pre-health, whatever, we'd love to see you on the panel. We just want to make sure that these professors feel like we really want them to come and they won't feel loved and like supported and stuff like that. So I'll send the link in the Slack, I guess, or the group meeting or both. But yeah, log on. It's at 7 tomorrow night, and yeah, it'll be awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Dyer. With that, the chair would like to recognize Senator Ramirez online.
Yes, good evening. I just wanted to thank anyone that showed up today for Day at the Dome. I'm the senator for the College of Pharmacy, and Day at the Dome is a really big stepping stone, I feel, for our pharmacy students for their year one. It's what encouraged me to actually be in Senate. So I greatly appreciate anyone that came out and really send a message of unity. I feel that sometimes I think us over here in South Campus feel a little lonely out here. So thank you to anyone that participated in that.
Yeah, thank you, Senator Ramirez. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Chair recognizes Senator Thomas.
Senator Dyer reminded me, the Pre-Professional Advising Office is also having a virtual health fair next week. It'll be over Zoom. You can register on the Pre-Professional Advising Office's website, but we have participating programs in colleges coming from MD schools, PA programs, dentistry, PT, OT, DO, like everything under allied health nursing. So if you are interested in that, if you are getting ready to apply, if you are interested in ongoing programs, or just want to kind of get your name out there, please sign up on the website. We're really excited about the number of schools we have coming out this year. And let me know if you have any questions.
Thanks, Senator Thomas. Is there anyone wishing to speak during good of the order? Seeing none, we'll end good of the order. And with that, do I hear a motion to adjourn? There's been a motion. Do I hear a second? There's been a motion, a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? We are adjourned.